We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Welcome to the Oddfrog Chop Shop, your one-stop podcast for all things toy, design, collectible, comic book, video game, movies, pop culture, and more. And now please welcome your hosts, Kelly Greenwood and Eddie Hermosillo.
Yay, doing it live. Welcome back to another installment of the Oddfrog Chop Shop, where we're here to chop it up about what's been going on with Oddfrog Entertainment.
Who are you?
Just with the toy community in general. We have a little bit of news with the Bandito. We have a bit of news with we have a bit of news with the Bandito, but let's check in with everybody first. Kelly, Mikey, how you guys doing?
What's up, guys? So we've got a lot of new followers and stuff, guys, and it occurs to me that like maybe not everybody. Oh, am I muted?
No, you're good. You're good.
Oh, okay. It occurs to me that like not everybody even knows who we are. So I'm Kelly Greenwood, co-founder of Oddfrog Entertainment, with my business partner right there, Eddie Hermosillo, and my other best friend, Mike Cantrell. And we're toy designers.
Hear anything? Is it just me?
Oh, you can't.
Eddie can't hear.
Eddie, you can't hear anything? Eddie, testing. We're live, so
yeah.
Okay, there we go.
There you go.
Good?
Okay. We're toy designers. We both have our degrees in product design with emphasis on toy from Otis College of Art and Design. I've worked for Mattel. We've both done freelance work for the bigger companies, Spin Master, Moose Toys, stuff like that. So, but we wanted to make our own toys. We're not interested in kind of building other people's toys. So we designed the Bandito for 1/12 scale action figures, Marvel Legends, Mezco, stuff like that. Again, I'm co-founder along with my business partner of Oddfrog Entertainment, and that's him over there. Eddie, go.
What are we doing again?
We're introducing ourselves again.
Oh, my bad. Okay, again, Eddie Hermosillo, co-founder of Oddfrog Entertainment, and under that branch, we started the branch of the 112th Street Chop Shop, which is like Kelly might have mentioned before I got my sound back. 1/12 scale action vehicles. So we're trying to do the same thing as like was it Hasbro did back in the 80s? They coined the term action figures. We're trying to do the same thing with cars, action vehicles. So customizable, collectible, and modular. The first one is the Bandito. It's kind of homage to the Americana muscle style car. It's inspired by a classic muscle car. If you just take a look at it there, car guys would know. Modular, customizable. So we'll have kits. We have if you look at our website, we have kits that'll make it look like a lowrider. The base model is a matte black like muscle.
Show the
car.
lowrider, Eddie.
That's the lowrider back there.
Ooh, she's pretty.
So so this was basically, it's the same base model vehicle as the black one, which is on a little bit of a tour right now. I recently started adding some decals to it.
Ooh, nice.
So this is the same base model you would see on our website, the same one that's being offered on oddfrogentertainment.com. And then so you just to the collector, to the customizer, you just do your paint job, you buy the kits. You can also add lighting to it. It does come with headlights, rear tail lights, and dash lights. The rims are interchangeable, the hood is, various parts are. And,
what's up, Deadman? Deadman just chimed in.
Yeah, let me just cut in real quick for a second.
Yeah.
Just let everybody know we are currently live. Our comments are going. We're on YouTube and Instagram. Crazy technology, really cool, really fun. So feel free to drop a comment in if you're on YouTube or Instagram, and we will answer you.
Back to you, Eddie.
Yeah.
Back to you, Eddie.
Again, let's. I guess we can just keep going. So what's up? I guess we were gonna get again.
Let's shoot over to Mikey. What you been up to, Mikey? Tell us about what's going on in the world of voice acting.
I am the resident voice actor and also producer of the Oddfrog Chop Shop podcast. If you like it, otherwise I subcontract it and it's totally somebody else. No, things have been going good, man. I'm auditioning like crazy. I just released an audio book that I'm really excited about. Let me show you just a real quick thing if I can do this right. I'm trying to do. There we go. There we go. It's called Bad Juju in Cleveland. And
what's it about?
Let's see. That's not showing. So it is actually written originally by a retired Cleveland police detective, and also a writer that. Oh, here we go. There we go. Move these guys out of the way. Ooh. So Bad Juju in Cleveland, it's really cool because the story itself, like the main crime that happens at the beginning of the book actually took place, and that's pretty screwed up. And a lot of the police, like a lot of the people in the book are real people. The story about chasing down the killer is fictionalized, but as I was reading it, it's a page turner, man. So it was a really fun story to tell. And Eddie asked me about voices last time, so Bad Juju is into voodoo, and his gods will take out your gods. So he was really fun to do. But anyway, it's out now on Audible. Check it out. Really cool, really fun.
That's awesome, Mikey. That's awesome. So yeah, guys, the Bandito is out on a tour right now. We're not going to dwell on it too much. We just want to check in with everybody and let you know what's going on. Just previously, Thor 2012, THO_R 2012 on Instagram had the car and really did it justice with his beautiful shots of the car. We're going to talk about some of that later. I'm not a photographer, but we want to look at some of the pictures from a design element and kind of look
Actually,
at them.
that's one of the ones I saved. I have it ready to go.
Keep talking. You did? Because I saved one of his too.
Yeah. It's really good.
What I really like about
it, kill it, yo.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can't wait to see more of. I mean, like Kelly's saying, we have
dude.
Yeah. So we have a tour lined up, and it's gonna hit about 8-9 different influencers or photographers, toy collectors, and people. Basically, people who would be our target audience. We want people to get their hands on it, take a look at it, and do what it does. Play with it, mess with it, take pictures. Thor being the first one here to do, and he took various shots of it, which got numerous likes, comments, and
this was my favorite shot in there, though. I mean, just the amount of detail is pretty badass.
Newspapers on the ground, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
When we get into this later, I want to talk about why they work from a graphic design perspective and some of the elements of design that are like tried and true that he's using or setting up in a way that he has a natural instinct for like how like graphic design works and stuff, but he really has a good eye for composition, and I wanted to talk about that a little bit later.
Facts is I could definitely use some compositional element technique skills, and as an artist, we all have our strengths, and I would say the composition is not one of mine. So
mine's not photography at all.
Like, I enjoy photography. I like getting down in angles, but like setting up, it takes time to develop a composition, and something that what you visualize in your head and you try to actually put it down. It's hard. I don't know.
Some of these guys just do amazing work. It's art.
They do. There's a lot of people who do it.
Absolutely art.
Yeah,
phenomenal.
Mikey, what do we got on the agenda for the show? Let's roll over it real quick.
Well, actually, let's just talk about the Bandito is on tour. Let's talk about that.
So let's talk about the Bandito and its tour. Like we mentioned, it's on a road trip, hitting collectors just to get it out there, to get the word out, to see the prototype, and to let people know that it's getting out. We also want to let people know that we have talked with General Giant, and we talked about him. We've been talking with them since like the beginning of the year. And we signed NDAs not soon after, we had a meeting at their studio, and we ended up meeting the entire team there at General Giant Studios out in Burbank. And just this past week, we finally got confirmation that we'll be getting our quote this coming week, Monday. We're expecting Monday. In the beginning of the week, we'll be having our numbers, and we'll be able to go over our numbers and then look at that, and then actually develop a nice strategic plan as to what our next steps would be. But that would be our next goal, to be able to hit those numbers in collaboration with General Giant to bring the Bandito to market. Right now.
Yeah, guys, the toy industry it's a weird thing. Like when I was at Mattel, for probably the first 2 months I worked there, they brought me in as the lead designer on the original Thomas Wood line, the wood toys. And I just sat there for the first 2 months. I'm like, it was a new team. They were bringing Thomas from the New York offices to the El Segundo offices, and there was all this just traveling and in between and talking to the old designers. There was nothing to do. And so for 2 months, I didn't really do anything. And then after that, it's go, 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 go. And that, that's kind of how the toy industry is. And, we're building our dream here. And, it takes a while to make something that you really want to make and see people enjoy. And the ability to break down this car and add on kits and customize it takes time, guys. Like for Mattel, the average turnaround time on a toy is 2 years. So if you look at it that way, we feel like we're right there. We've got a well-developed product, and I think it's just a hop, skip, and a jump now before we go to distribution. We see the numbers Monday. It's going to take us a couple days to look at that, and it's off to the races. I mean, we've spent the last 2 years developing this car to make sure that it would work right, that you could pull it apart, and that you could actually customize it. So these things take time.
Even with that said, this is the prototype, and during our meeting with General Giant, they showed the enthusiasm and the want to improve on it. So the next steps, like Kelly was saying, we'll get it. It's in a state where it's ready, but they want to have their design team take a look at it. There might be some slight changes to the design, but nothing major, I would assume, just to make it more efficient and
a little bit of the General Giant signature on it, which I'm all for.
Yeah, just to put their touch on it. We want their touch on it. We want it to be a collaboration. So that would be the next step. We go into meetings with them. We talk about what design elements we can improve on it, and go from there. Yeah, we adjust the game plan. But I mean, it's no better position to be in than being able to collaborate with, such giant, literally pioneers in the game. General Giant Studios. I'm sure people are aware. They might not be aware of who they are, but they literally are pioneers in the 3D industry. They've been revolutionizing the game since the beginning. Their whole team has years under their belt, and it's ridiculous what they're doing over there. Like, they've done stuff for Marvel Legends. They've done figures for DC. They've done Star Wars, Lord of the Rings. They've done figures for everywhere. Let alone their prototyping, their rapid prototyping, and what they can produce, and the amount of details they have in their statues and the busts and stuff. I could only imagine.
We can't even talk about parts of it.
Yeah, I can only imagine their touch on this. Like, how much better we can make that. This is just us, our little team, Oddfrog Entertainment, managed to put this out, and with General Giants. Come on, man. It's a no-brainer in my opinion. But
that Eddie and I have both liked about working with them over the last few months is that we don't have to sacrifice the premium. They do nice stuff.
No way, shape.
Yeah,
form.
They do really, really nice stuff, and what they were showing us, the level of quality that they implement is just, it's on another level.
Even then, though, they showed us from the very first bust. We went in this room and they showed us every bust they've probably ever made, from the very first one to the most recent thing. Everything was just it looked good, but you could see the improvement and the level, and it just kept going up, and the bar just kept getting raised. And I can see no better company partner, to mentor under, to aspire to be. It's insane. It's a dream come true.
Yeah, Eddie and I have both sat in the meetings where you're going over a product that you've put your heart and soul into for the last 8 months, and then people just start picking it apart for pricing, right? Like, we got to get it down to this price, so the lights have to go, all this stuff. And, just working with these guys, we know that that's not going to be an issue. They want to deliver the same kind of quality we do, and it's not going to be nitpicked to death by a corporation. So.
But we still need to encourage people to do the pre-orders, because the more that we can show that people want it, the quicker they're going to get to making it happen.
Yeah, and look, next week, we find out a lot of information, and then it's time to put together a package to go to distribution for real. So, that's really what this tour is about. Deadman put this whole thing together. He's got, a finger on the pulse of the community, so to speak. I mean, in more ways than one. Like, he's been saying forever that it's like these companies should be listening to the collectors, and it's such a great point. And that's what we're trying to emulate here. We want to bring something to the community where when we look at it on pictures, we're seeing that people are enthused about it as well. And this tour is also a reflection that, I've come to realize of what Eddie and I have been wanting to see so long, which is other people's hands on it, other people's photography skills on it. I think that's what was
missing, yeah.
Yeah. What's up, Adonis?
Real quick, they're saying we're not streaming on Instagram. So, Kelly, double check your thing.
Let me check. Why not?
Make sure you should have two. This is live, folks.
They both have a check on them. It says you are live.
Well, check your actual Instagram on the...
Yeah, Instagram is not running it.
Yeah, so check your Instagram tab, not your StreamYard tab.
I'm looking at it. I don't know where I see...
thank you, Oscar.
Here. Yeah, thank you.
Oscar Laguna, muchas gracias, man. Let's check it out. The Bandito, the Lowrider's right around the corner. We have the files ready. We're trying to get the Dayton rims, the side skirts, and the lights. I think we'll be able to, I'm thinking after a certain point, after we go to market, there's we can meet just like this and have lives, and we can do tutorials, or maybe pointers on how to modify it, or if you guys need help, or that would be kind of cool just to hang out and see what you guys been doing with your banditos and the pictures. I think it would be kind of dope,
I mean, it says we're live on Oddfrog Entertainment.
I'm checking Instagram separately.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram and it's not live.
I don't either. I'm just it's not giving me the option here to I'm gonna remove it and try again. Or let's see if I can edit it. Put the stream.
What up, Tripping with Toys?
So anytime Kelly does anything technology wise,
this is 100% true. This is 100% true.
The comments are coming in though, so that's nice.
What's up?
Yeah, we got
guys. Shoot is on the tour.
Say what?
Shoot MI91, who just chimed in. He's on the tour. Oh, I think I figured it out, guys.
Let's do it. Try it again, and I'll check Instagram.
You want to check it? I think I got it.
Yeah, it's live now on Instagram.
I need to refresh.
Guys, this is StreamYard's new to us.
No, we got to start over. No, I'm just kidding.
No, we're not doing
Start it over.
But yeah, we're talking about the Bandito tour. Thor 2012, THO_R 2012 just had the Bandito, did some beautiful pictures. We're going to be looking at them here in a little bit and breaking them down design wise. I'm not a photographer. I'm terrible at it. I want to get better. I'm trying, but I'm an artist and I'm a designer, and I can look at the design elements of some of these really beautiful shots that people are taking. And so that's what we've been talking about a little bit leading up to now. The Bandito is basically on its way to Insightful Imagery next. So make sure and check out Thor 2012 and Insightful Imagery on Instagram. Insightful Imagery has a a Patreon. The guy does some beautiful sculpture work. And
hey, we got
Moonshine Mail. Yeah, I just saw that. If you pre-order with us, we can double check. But if you pre-ordered at any time at oddfrogentertainment.com, on oddfrogentertainment.com, we should definitely still have your order.
No. I can say 100% for a fact. We have absolutely everyone that ever ordered, and in the order they ordered it. Yeah. So you're good, Moonshine Mel. You're totally good.
And thank you for the question.
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. And so some people have canceled, and we basically take care of that right away. In the very beginning, Deadman will remember, like, we didn't have this all wired, and we opened it up for the pre-order, and it was charging people for the pre-order. So we shut that down, and then I had to build a free to pre-order a way for people to free to pre-order. But a lot of people, we gave the money back, and some people just decided, I'm down to hang with you guys until it gets made. So that's what we're done. But anybody who's ever asked for their money back has been, we've canceled their order and given it back. But surprisingly, it hasn't been that many. You're welcome. Thank you. Great. We love you too. I mean, it's really amazing, you guys who have been supporting us for this long. I don't even know what to say about it.
So yeah.
We're trying to build our dream, and just the fact that you guys would stick with us and stick with this idea and this product, I mean, it means more to us than you guys could possibly know. So
I think it's the fact that they see the bigger picture. They see what else we're trying to do, the along with the Bad Van and everything else that we've showed and previewed. But I think having a solid product from the get-go, like the Bandito, with the details and the headlights and the tail lights and the dash lights. I mean, we were literally one of the first companies to try to do it. Just, we were just a lot smaller than everybody out there who did it and has done it. But we're smiling. Yeah, but yeah, we're still out here. We're still pushing. It's been a wild ride. It's been and the fact that we've stuck with it and we're now in good places shows a lot. And it shows a lot to the design and our team that we put together, because like now that we're back live on Instagram, as we said earlier in the stream, we've had talks with Gentle Giant Studios since the beginning of the year. Actually, since the end of last year, around Thanksgiving time, we got a hold of and in contact with Gentle Giant Studios here in Burbank. And if you guys aren't familiar with who Gentle Giant is, they do stuff for like Marvel Legends, DC Essentials. They've done toys for like Lord of the Rings. They do a lot more than just toys, but they're like pioneers and on the cutting edge of 3D technology. They're the ones to beat. But we showed them our product. We pitched them. It was like a Shark Tank type deal. It was amazing, but it was so much more laid back and it was cool. Like the environment was, the things that they were saying about the Bandito were exactly what I was envisioning. But needless to say, they enjoyed it. They loved it. We signed NDAs with Gentle Giant Studios, and this coming week is the week we should be receiving our numbers that will be our new numbers that will be in partnership with Gentle Giant to produce the Bandito. We had previous numbers from our own manufacturer, but those were really high tooling costs. And when we talked to the team at Gentle Giant, I talked to Paulie Schreier, and we talked to other people on the team, but they were able to, the way they made it seem is like they can bring down our tooling costs and help us offset it, and just allowing us to go to market a lot sooner. And I'm thinking with them on board, with their notoriety, with their credit, I mean, it's just that as soon as people get to know us and what we're trying to do, and the fact that Gentle Giant Studios on board and trying to help us, I think we're rolling. Again, check it out, oddfrogentertainment.com.
And we put a lot of heart and soul into it over the last 2 years, and it's been a lot of fun. So, but yeah, so enough about the Bandito. We actually want to try to, Oscar, I saw you order yours. That was great. Thank you, sir. We want to bring new elements into the show. Thank you, Moonshine Mel. Thank you. We want to give him soft goods. We're working on his gear right now.
Yeah, see? I was looking at the comment there quick. But yeah, see, I took pictures standing next to Gomez, and it looks solid. It looks just like we have pictures on our Instagram. We printed one that Kelly's actually working on right now. The last few parts, we'll put them together next week. But it's, I mean, it looks very similar in style to a Gomez. So once we get those soft goods on it's gonna be nice, man. We got more details on the head. We just sculpted more details on the head. Kelly reprinted some more of those, and I mean, we're just moving along. We also showed that to Gentle Giant. They said it was awesome, and they're all for giving us a quote on manufacturing that as well.
And I'm halfway through inking the 64-page graphic novel that is the story of the Oddfrog, which will include the Bandito in issue 2 and all that noise. So
the world ties
Thank
in.
you.
I can't wait to see that.
But we got some other stuff on the agenda. Mikey, do we want to talk a little bit about McFarlane a little bit and kind of one of the new things he has going on? What do you got?
Well, before we do that, let's go ahead and give a shout out to some of these photographers that are doing some amazing work with the Bandito.
Let's do that.
I pulled that one up from Thor 2012. Is that how we call his handle?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, Thor.
Thank you.
Okay.
Right.
That's what it looks like. Okay, so I pulled up that one. I'll pull that one again. Let's see, and then I have a second one. Let's see.
You just go straight to his Instagram.
Yeah, because I was going to talk about his too.
Well, I got that, but
there we go.
So the second one that I have, though, I think this photography is pretty badass. Agent Gomez, I gotta say, his little montage here is pretty badass.
Yeah,
Agent Gomez was one of the first ones to see the prototype, like an earlier version too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Look, if you look at his, it's all matte black, and then we decided to change some design element aspects to go back to the original design. But like,
that's
again,
really
this is a
good.
prototype. But look at that. See the way it's just, even the all matte black suits well. Like Blade right there, all matte black.
Blade.
Yeah,
it
exactly.
Is
so
Blade.
Regardless of how the Bandito looks, if you got chrome or black or not, or this or that, it works well everywhere.
And can you imagine it in different colors for these different characters?
Right.
Too?
See what I'm saying?
That's the point. You know, we want people to customize it. We want to sell extra
right there. I can see that
so
one.
You don't feel afraid to customize it.
He did. Just these photos are fucking amazing.
Yeah.
So that's what I got anyway. Those are a couple that.
Well,
really
can you bring that back up for Thor? I want to talk about that design wise a little bit.
Yeah, sure. Let's see here. There we go. Share screen.
Thank you, Clanable. Thank you. That's what we're hoping. The Thor ones, Mikey. The Thor one.
Oh yeah, I knew that. I was just testing you.
Oh, okay. So
yeah, this isn't his actual Instagram page. It's just a saved part of it. Yeah.
So in design, there's things that go into.
Hey, what is the Oddfrog mascot official name?
So this is a little bit. I'll make this brief, but like probably 20 years ago, 25 years ago, I was in art school and I came up with this character, Oddfrog. Anthropomorphic frog. You know, you'll see him in the book. I put some images out there of him, and the action figure is essentially him. But when we started the business, everybody always liked the frog that I drew and loved the frog. And when I started the business, I was like, I don't know if I'll ever do a comic book or anything like that. So I'll just name the business after this character that I really like. And so that's what we did. And then, you know, a year and a half into the business, it's like, let's do a comic and let's do it of the Oddfrog. I had written the story in college about 6 years ago. We put some, modernized it a little bit and cleaned it up, and now we're working on it. But yeah, he's a mascot. He's a superhero, and he's all those things.
Have you named him aside from the Oddfrog?
Yeah, he starts off. He's a human. His name is Oliver. I was going to call it Tree Hopper, but that's a little too obvious as the frog thing. So he's going to be Oliver.
That's for the kids line.
Yeah. And his name is Oliver, and it's a really fun story. I told it to Agent Gomez, and he thought it was really solid. So yeah, it's fun. But back to this image here. In design school, you learn a lot about what makes an image work. And I can't think of everything off the bat here, but it's kind of really fun to break down some of these pictures. And this one wasn't the one that I picked, but I'm just going to go over a couple of things that in my mind make it kind of work. I love the contrast. First of all, it's really nice where you have these nice dark smoky backgrounds and then these two figures that pop with the bright white. And then you've got one on the left and one on the right. One of the design elements and principles is balance, and that can be asymmetrical balance or symmetrical balance. But here I think you have kind of a example of asymmetrical balance where you don't really have any one of the characters centrally focused on, but they're, as far as the composition goes, they're balanced. It weighs the picture out nicely. Another design principle is rhythm. And if you look at some of these background things, you've got the bricks that are patterned. And anytime you have something that's a pattern, that our eye tends to pick that up as a rhythm. And then as far as overall composition, I'm always looking for like the squares and the angles and the asymmetrical lines that cut through the picture. So if you look at like the sidewalk, the way it lays contrast to the building wall, there's a real nice angle that points directly at the car. And comic books does this a lot where they lead the eye through the page and stuff. And it's just, when I'm looking at stuff, I'm looking for these kind of things because I'm more of a designer and I studied graphic design and I just love all of these things. A lot of times you can look at a picture and, oh, that's so amazing, but you don't really articulate to yourself why that is. And for me, when I look at something like this, I see nothing but good design.
And I'm looking at the two guys that are, I would call them the extras, because you can tell how wasted they are. I mean, I'm serious. Like, it looks real, especially the guy in the stairway. He's gonna
stumbling upstairs.
And the curious cat.
Yeah.
Like, where did he even get that cat? That's amazing.
Yeah, see, the things go ahead, keep talking. Go for it.
I was going to say, and the Hulk just downed all those Budweisers in the garbage can. But
he probably is chilling, though.
Yep. What were you going to say, Eddie?
I was just saying, going to throw some more design elements, as Kelly was saying. Like, I like the way he definitely laid out. Like, you can actually see, like, a foreground. You see the cat and the trash can and the newspaper. Then you got a middle ground, and you got the guy stumbling and the Wolverine.
Great point.
And then you even have the background, and then you got the Hulk and the light. I think the light adds a lot to the background. It definitely leads your light.
That's smart. That's super smart.
And the sidewalk and everything, I think everything is leading towards vanishing point, which is kind of towards that light. You know what I'm saying? It leads all angles.
I see it right in. For me, the vanishing point looks like it's almost right in the center of that round fan looking like thing in the window on the back building. Right.
Yeah, that's kind of that's exactly where the line. If you look at the line on the sidewalk, that's where it goes. That's where the vanishing point would be, but also kind of from the top. So it's almost like a 2-point vanishing point if you were to slightly. You know what I'm saying?
Dead man.
Speaking of wasted,
so I have to. So as you guys know, I'm kind of the outsider coming into the toy world, and I have to give a shout out to the Toy Mercs Instagram page because. Every time a new post comes up, I go through every single one of those photos just because there's so many good freaking photos. Like, huge shout out.
Yeah, it's a good group.
They definitely always have collaborations, always have something going on every week, and there's always Monday this and that, this and this.
Yeah, another.
Not right.
You mind going to Thor's Instagram and finding the one where Spider-Gwen is on the hood of the car?
I thought you had all this pulled up.
I did. Let me go find it. Hold
on. I saw a comment earlier that said something about Oddfrog and Gomez.
Here we go. I've got it.
I kind of like that, the fact that y'all put us together in the same category as
okay. So let me share my screen.
What's up?
Here's another one that I just love from Thor. Is this one where Spider-Gwen is on the Bandito, and the reason I like this one is another thing in design is the golden mean or sacred geometry. And if you look at a lot of like Renaissance paintings and stuff of the Mother Mary holding Jesus. And, I know this is a ridiculous comparison, but the design elements are all there. If you see from where Gwen's head is to the other two antagonist heads, there's this kind of nice triangle shape visually. And that is part of the golden mean in design, using triangles and symbols that are underlying, like kind of invisible visual lines as part of your design element. And this particular kind of composition is used in Renaissance paintings a lot. So I just think it's amazing to kind of look at some of the classic tried and true design elements that people are using in their photography and just point it out a little bit. So
I didn't realize that Dead Man wanted, he was like, where's my link? And I'm like, well, here's your Instagram. And he's like, no, where's my link?
Oh, the link to join. He's trying to hop in here.
Oh, bring him in.
Jump it in. Send it in. Post the link.
Sorry about that.
Have everybody
I cannot believe you put it in the chat. But you know what? You guys, you guys should bring all these people in that want to come in and talk about this shit, because this shit is fucking awesome. This shit is fucking amazing, dude.
Thank you.
And like, I mean, I've been talking to you guys about this car for fucking a long time. I let you guys stew on it for like a year or so, and then I hit you back up, and I proposed this whole tour, and then I seen the car, and I seen the car, and I seen the car, and then all of a sudden I seen Gore's photos of the car.
Yeah.
Shit, dude. I mean,
it's a whole other level. It's a whole other level. Like, me knowing I'm not very good at photography, I just want to get the car into other people's hands.
That question right quick.
The quality will pop out.
If the Bandito is out, it is not out yet. We are still trying to secure pre-orders.
We're working on a release date. That's the best I can tell you. We really need this. We were going with a manufacturer.
And if I'm wrong here, we're looking at like a more like realistic release date come Tuesday this coming week, right?
We'll be able to devise some sort of plan after that, after we find the numbers, and then hopefully with the numbers, I'm thinking they might be able to tell us how long it would take to go into manufacturing, and then to into tooling, and then hopefully that would be included in the quote. Usually does. It was included in our first quote, I believe, from our first manufacturer, was like the quote on the tooling. And then after securing X amount of money for the tooling, it would go a certain amount of days to create the tooling. And then from that point on, it was a certain amount of days till you get your first like pump of. Yeah.
So
well, I mean, this day and age, toy companies don't actually do pre-orders anymore. They basically do crowdfunding, because they're always telling you, oh, here's the prototype. Look at the prototype, and
that's how much it is.
We're gonna put it out next year sometime.
Exactly how they do it. You're right.
And so like we're not looking. I mean, if we're talking about if we're Hasbro, or if you're fucking
any other major company,
any fucking toy company like Patriot Studios, any of the third party ones, any of them, they all do it the same way.
They show you a prototype, and then they tell you this is our pre-orders, and then you see that product maybe a year later. And
they take your money and they make it with that money.
We haven't taken any money, so maybe that's part of it.
That's exactly what we're doing. But because of when we did design work early on for the 112 Garage, and we found out they screwed a bunch of people, we didn't want to just jump right. We were kind of naive to the fact that he screwed a bunch of people. Otherwise, we probably would have called the Chop Shop something completely different.
Gotta would hope so.
But we didn't know. So we were like, oh, well, we'll just do it and screw that guy, And so we redesigned the car, put it out ourselves. And
well, I mean, this is a completely different car.
100% completely a different car.
I mean, I remember the 112 Chop Shop car. That looked like some fucking garbage. You could find.
You could find that shit at a fucking car. The other one.
Yeah. Sorry, the 112 Garage. You're right, Eddie. You're right. I'm sorry.
The
112 Garage car.
We know how to design toys, or at least in our minds we do, right? But we've worked in the toy industry. And one of the things I was saying earlier, Deadman, is like we've all been in those meetings where they just gut the magic out of a toy over a price that
a couple of dollars.
A couple of dollars, and you take all the magic out. Some grandparent who's buying a Jurassic Park playset for their grandchild is not going to worry about $9 enough for you to rip everything out of it that made it special to begin with.
Well, so, but I mean that $9 on the price though. I mean, those people are looking at like multi-thousands over everything that they're going to take in, and but you guys don't want to. You guys don't want to fuck the consumer over like that. You guys, you know, I was talking with you guys, and I was like, "Is there going to be like actual mirrors in the mirrors?" And you guys are like, "We want to do that," you know, and
that can all be aftermarket stuff. The beautiful thing about the Bandito, and I had mentioned this earlier, I think the Pick Bar or whatever, but like, remember those old accessory packs where you got your G.I. Joe, but then you wanted all this extra stuff, and for $2.99 they'd sell you a bag or a blister pack of 15 new guns that were probably from other characters, but who cares? They were
they were still on the fucking tree. You had to cut them. You had to cut them out and shit.
They're still on the spruce and the runs and the spruce.
Yeah, on the spruce, right? On the spruce. Yeah, I couldn't think of that word right now because I am fucking. I said speaking of wasted in the comments because I am wasted. I mowed the lawn today and you guys haven't seen my yard. It's at least an acre.
Eddie and I. Oh, that's awesome! Wow.
Where do you live?
I live in Washington State.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, same.
Yeah. But yeah, we want to do something like that, but give it purpose, right? Eddie was mentioning the headlights. How easy would it be for us to throw in some extra seats, some headlight covers?
You guys put dash lights in there too.
Yeah, we did. And if you look at our dash lights, it's much more elaborate than anything else out there. And I attribute that all to Johnny, our engineer in Hong Kong. Really designed that dashboard, and it's beautiful.
It really is. I've seen it lit up. Thor lit it up for us when we were talking on the Pick Bar.
Yeah, and I sampled that and put it out as a little short too. So
dude, it's beautiful. Like what you guys have done with the car from the shell that it used to be, with the 112 garage guy, that fucking fuck that guy. But anyway, what you've done with the car since then is fucking amazing. And like I remember I had you guys on a Toy Mercs Live, and by the way, also Mike, thank you for mentioning Toy Mercs earlier. And
oh yeah, no, what you guys do, it's awesome. It's awesome.
But I saw what you guys did with the car then, and seriously, I just stopped thinking about you guys for about a year, and then I was just like, what are these guys up to? You know, and I looked you guys up and I saw what you're up to, and like the car looks even better, and you guys are still just fucking plugging away at it, and that's fucking. I mean, that speaks volumes to just what you're about.
Thank you.
It really does.
Man. I mean, it's our dream. And we know we have a good product. We've held it in your hands. One of the things Insightful said to us when he got it recently was that he's like, you can't really imagine how big this thing is until you get it. And Thor said the same thing, like it's big. And Thor mentioned something. Thor mentioned something, Thor 2012, THO_R 2012 on Instagram. He mentioned something that never even crossed my mind, which was what you guys really did was you built a play set, with the doors and the hood and the lights and the buttons. And I never even looked at it that way. Eddie and I were looking at it as action vehicle. We wanted it to articulate. We wanted it to do stuff. We wanted it to fit your characters. And I never even thought of like a small play set. That's such a insightful thing, I think.
Yeah. I mean, he was right. I was there when he said it. I remember that.
Action vehicle and play set.
Yep. Absolutely. It's absolutely a play set. Like, I mean, the car
with all the modular interchangeable parts. How
and the car is fucking beautiful.
Thank you.
I mean, and
it'd be great to create the Christmas set with an actual diorama that it comes with, like the old, like the old G.I. Joe play sets, like we were talking about. Just saying, Comes with the garage for Christmas, $199.95.
So
I mean,
7 feet long, like,
So
like a G.I. Joe.
just for you guys, this is my first shot of the night, just so you know. But I've had about 18 beers. I said I mowed the lawn today, man.
I was gonna save mine to pour out a little bit for Gambit. Oh God,
dude, I watched that with my wife.
Hey, I haven't seen the most recent episode. Don't say that.
I want to talk about this coming up because, well, I'll save it. We got to talk about X-Men '97.
I'm just gonna say this. I don't actually remember too much of it. Because I was hammered. My wife was hammered too. We both watched it. At the end of it, she like had her fucking head on my chest.
Hey.
My chest was soaking wet with her tears.
Don't ruin this.
And she looks me up. And she looks up at me.
Stop.
And she just says, and then I don't even like Gambit.
I'm telling you what,
That's
it was
classic,
so
man.
well done that I couldn't even be mad. I mean, it was so well written. And I was like expecting this show to be garbage, honestly. Disney and Marvel haven't put out anything too well, in my opinion, in the last couple of years.
I'm three episodes in. I just finished the Mojo episode, which
that one was okay to me.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of silly, but
it was
that was filler. That was filler.
I agree.
Okay, so this.
Yep.
This is the first toy that I've bought in years.
How many years, Mikey?
Oh, Jesus. Not the first toy that I haven't wanted to buy, because there's been plenty that, I eyeball when I still go down the toy aisle in the store, but I just haven't bought one in forever. Now I'm like, I got to get Wolverine now.
Hey, you're starting to go down the dark hole, man.
Good luck. Good luck finding that X-Men '97 Wolverine. He's already going for like $70, dude.
Is
already.
that right?
Already going for $70.
Wow. That's kind of cool.
Oh, damn.
I think they did a nice job for an animated show toy. I mean, it's, the articulation's on point and they're well done.
So I have a question for you. Speaking of like things like X-Men '97's or Wolverine going for $90, when the pre-orders of the Bandito are done and everybody got theirs, like, are we gonna see like this thing on eBay for like fucking $300-400, or are you guys gonna put another run out?
So I've never really wanted to be.
I mean, it's just in the plans. I mean, I can't ask you if you're going to do that right now because that's an unfair question. But
want to influence the secondary market at all, except for the fact that I want it available to anyone who wants it. The reason we have our price tag the way we do is because we want people like ourselves to be able to afford it. So as soon as we get our numbers and people start seeing it out there, what I would like to see is momentum and more interest. And then absolutely, I want to re-release another run because I don't want people paying that much for it until years down the road, when we have stopped making them legitimately.
When it becomes a collector's item instead of an action vehicle playset.
I want it to be a collector's item. We've built a lot of that into it, actually, as far as, there's really what we've done is enticed you to get in on the first 1,500 because that's going to be the collector's edition.
I want that pink slip.
You get the pink slip signed by me and Eddie with the stamp of authenticity. And really, that's the one we want to be the collector's item with the collector's box.
Is the pink slip going to be numbered?
Everything is numbered 1 through 1,500 with the order of who bought it first, which we still have in our built pre-order system on our website.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Can we throw out a? No, never mind. I was going to say, can we throw out a name of the first fucking pre-order? But we don't want to put.
I know who the first one is, and I can't tell you who the first one is because I just can't quite remember. But the second or third one is Minix. In my how do you say it?
Minx.
Minix.
I call it Minix because I'm an idiot with these names.
No, it's spelled Minix.
I call Action Figs Axion Figs too because I read it and I'm like, oh, Axion.
Well, something else to keep in mind with the Bandito is, of course, there's going to be more that are brought to market later, but it's really once those first 1,500 are out, that will give Oddfrog the capital to really push forward with more action vehicles, especially the bad van that just looks so freaking badass.
Well, let me be clear. The first 1,500 is not going to give us any capital. All that money goes to
momentum. I'll just say momentum.
Yeah. And also what it allows us to do is then create the kits, because now we have the tooling and we can cap parts of the tooling to make the stock hood. You know, it's not going to cost us $18,000 to get different rear mirrors made. That's small. But, you know, all the money is accounted for as far as the $1,500 pre-order, because we just want to get it to market and get it in people's hands. But after
at this point, you're not even looking at making money. You're just
nothing. I think
that's again.
There's about $30,000 of buffer zone in everything, and that's just in case I made a mistake, in case shipping things change. I'm sure that will be eaten up in other kinds of costs, taxes, blah, blah, blah.
Well, speaking of shipping, as of right now, shipping is free with this thing, right?
Shipping, we have calculated into the cost, free shipping in the United States only. I can't do it everywhere, but certainly in the United States, where the majority of the people that look at our website and follow us are, shipping will be free. We pay for that.
That is fucking amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, you got other companies out here that are like giving you free shipping after they've sold you the fucking thing and oversold. I'm not going to say any names.
Well, for me,
I almost said the name when I coughed.
For me and Eddie, it was just like, look. Okay, for me and Eddie, when we were looking at things and just business in general, you don't want to look at the tax. You don't want to look at the shipping. You just want to know what the price is. And yeah, it kind of hurts to up it more when you don't know what. At this point, when we did it, we had never even seen the Engine of Vengeance price tag. We were just pricing it off parts, tooling, and what we think is fair.
No, it was before the Engine of Vengeance.
Right. It was before. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So we priced it as just our own company, what we thought was fair and what it would cost us to get made. So, with the Kickstarter, we had built in like, oh, we're going to make some money here and this will be exciting. But once we realized that that wasn't going to work, that was completely ridiculous, actually, as we got a little wiser. We're like, let's drop everything.
No offense, but I did tell you that.
You did. We didn't want to hear that at the time, though, Dead Man.
I know you didn't want to hear it, but you guys came around and you got a great product and you have a reasonable price and the number is already low and come Monday it might even be lower. Who knows what the number is going to be like?
You know, for me, even if it breaks even, getting to work with Gentle Giant and the name recognition is kind of a no-brainer.
Just
anyways.
Getting it out there, yeah.
I mean, just the fact that they were willing to fucking help you guys is amazing.
Eddie talked to them initially, and they said that they loved our grit and determination, and that we were obvious industry professionals, which made me laugh a little bit because we have no budget.
How much did you pay them to say that?
Like I said, we have no budget.
Well, they also didn't say this. This is just hearsay. I've only heard Kelly say this. I've never even heard Eddie say this.
Say what? I told him. I heard that. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, he straight up told me. Like, so when I emailed them literally one night, like 11 p.m. The very next morning, I had an email from the director of creative, and then within the reply of that email, I was on the phone with him like 20 minutes later, and we had a 15-minute long conversation. And we just talked about it, and we arranged, I'm sure he was busy, so we arranged a meeting, and then we brought it up there, and then, we pitched it, and yada, yada.
So let me answer the Mafia's question real quick. We definitely want to get it on Amazon. We went to go do that when we originally built the pre-order, and Amazon is used to working with bigger companies who have a shorter pre-order crowdfunding kind of situation going on. So they only give you about 6 months to ship with their pre-orders. So it just wasn't something I could promise anybody at the time and have it actually be legitimate. So we stayed away from Amazon at the time, but I will say this just briefly, and I don't want to talk too much about it. But once we greenlight Gentle Giant Studios, then we are really open to go to distribution. And there's some big toy companies out there that know about us. And that's when you will probably see us on bigger platforms like that when we get closer to release date.
Yeah. So what you're saying, the window for Amazon is still it's the window's there. It's still a thing.
We have an account.
Oh yeah,
business
I
account
want
Amazon.
to be on
we
there.
Can post it on Amazon.
I have an Amazon business account, but there's no way for me to legitimately build a pre-order and not lie to people about it getting out.
Well, you don't want to lie to anybody, and like that already happened in the fucking beginnings of this car.
Well, that wasn't us, but I know what you're saying.
I know it wasn't you guys, and like maybe I should have said that when I first started.
Which is the whole reason we started the free to pre-order
thing
in the first place.
But at the same time though, this is not even the same car.
No.
It's not at all. You guys have put in so much work in this car since all that fucking garbage. It's not the same thing.
Well, and I think we took a legitimate toy industry 2 years of development to make sure the car was going to friggin' work. And Eddie and I have broke the car down over 100 times ourselves now and put it back together. We've built 3 prototypes now, the newest one, which is on tour. And like, yeah, our heart is in this. We've, we believe in the product. We've held it in our hands. We're like, God,
I remember doing that live with you guys on Toymerx where you dropped the car right before and you wouldn't even show it. And then a couple of days later, I seen all the Bondo on it that Eddie did, man. And fucking Eddie, man.
I've said it before, Eddie is the Leonardo da Vinci of prototype.
Eddie is the goddamn fucking genius,
artist,
man. Like, I deal with Bondo too because I'm a woodworker and we use Bondo to fill gaps a lot. And his work with the Bondo, because I saw it before it was painted, and Jesus fucking Christ, dude, that was some great Bondo work.
Thanks,
by the way.
Man. Thanks. Yeah, you can probably still see some pictures on our Instagram if you just scroll down on the Chop Shop. There's a lot of people actually like that Bondo, that like work look.
Dude, that look is good. It was a good look.
Like the primer gray with the red Bondo sanded. Like a lot of people like the way that it looks kind of clean. It looks like
show the lowrider, Eddie.
Yeah, still got the lowrider. I found these decals the other day, so I threw some decals on it. But that's essentially what you can end up doing. You know what I'm saying? You got the Dayton rims, different kind of mirrors.
Do you have a hydraulics kit?
Round mirrors.
Not yet.
You can tie it
No,
into
but
the batteries.
We are talking with Eddie. Who's the RC company? Who's the RC group you're talking with about that?
Well, I personally been talking to Jeffries. He's the guy who works with Red Cat RC. He's the guy who basically pioneered and in a way invented like the lowrider RC. Like if you look at it, like he has a lowrider RC collaboration with Red Cat RC, who's probably one of like the bigger RC companies out there. He saw what we're trying to do, and I showed him pictures and the fact that it's like a hard body and it's able to be customized and you're able to make it modular, and the fact that you can incorporate other elements to make it RC. He liked it. He loved the product. And
I'm always thinking like if we can get them into 112, then we can sell them our figures too.
Well, and that's another thing I was telling you guys last time we had a pod is I've got a good friend that he's not into toy collecting, but he loves RC cars and he loves models. And when I showed him the Bandito, he's like, dude, I'll order one. Absolutely. He goes, I'm going to mod it onto my RC. I'm like, go for it. I was like, just take pictures and send them to me.
Yeah. So it's you can do a lot more with it than just take pictures. Again, it is customizable in more ways than one, and it is modular. The modular aspect being that we were going to provide aftermarket parts, and the customizable aspect that you can paint it and you can drill holes if you wanted it to make it
We
look
don't
like bullet
we
holes, or
want
you
to
can.
sell the aftermarket parts so that you're not afraid to customize it, right? You buy the initial car, and then later, if you need another body for it, it's really cheap for Eddie and I to get that to you once the tooling is actually constructed. The tooling,
Second body,
and I guess,
that's
Deadman, I'll
right.
take this time to explain what tooling is one more time.
Hold on. If you can't fix it yourself, Eddie will do it for you with some Bondo and some paint.
He'll fly to your house.
It's always good to explain what tooling is, because a lot of people in the community don't really understand what tooling actually is.
Well, I think they have different understandings of it from what I'm gathering. Like,
here.
You know,
Next stop, Big Bad Toy Store.
For us, what the tooling is whenever you make a toy, every single piece of that toy, if it's articulated, the thigh needs a tooling, or it needs to be amongst a group of things that are in tooling. And what tooling is basically a giant aluminum block for a car this big, right? Over 20 inches long. And they carve or mold aluminum blocks around each piece of the car so that they can then inject plastic into these big aluminum bricks that go together, seal together, and are friggin' pressurized together, and then injected with plastic at a high pressure so that all the parts are consistent, all the little bends and undercuts are consistent, and that's the professional way you make toys. So our car has 76 pieces, which is a lot. I mean, if you look at like Lightning McQueen, it's 2 pieces screwed together. A lot of these things are simple shapes to just get it done because the tooling is so expensive. We designed the car and then went to tooling. So there's 76 pieces that need to be tooled. We have, I believe, and Deadman doesn't like when I get into numbers here too much, but
yeah, just don't.
Okay, we have 6 pieces of tooling that are very expensive, and because of the size of the car and the plastics we're using, it's an expensive process. So tooling is basically, you can look it up on how things are made.
Yeah, all this numbers were based on our original quote with our previous manufacturer.
Right.
Who knows what these new numbers with Gentle Giant is? Who knows what kind of tooling advancements they may have? Who knows? But you know what I'm saying? These numbers will change. But yeah, the tooling is...
The reason they change, guys, sorry, Eddie. Let me just like segue on that real quick.
Yeah.
The reason they can change is when you're a company like us and we're working with a manufacturer that we got gifted to us by a professor of ours who worked with them for 30 years. So we know they're good, but they don't know us. So they're not going to give us any leeway in the tooling. We have to pay for the tooling up front.
So this is why Gentle Giant comes in, right?
They've been doing tooling with their company over in Asia for 30 years.
Who knows?
So this company's saying, oh yeah, we know you'll make up the units on the back end. We can cut you a deal and not have to pay full price for the tooling, knowing that we can up the unit cost, and you're such a well-known company, we know you'll sell the units to make up for the tooling cost. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Okay.
I mean, to me it does. I mean, but you've also explained this to me. I mean, how many times have I talked to you?
Many times.
Just me and you, and I'm fucking hammered.
Many times, and
you've explained it to me in such small words that I get it.
It's kind of convoluted because it's business stuff and it's numbers, and I sometimes struggle to understand it myself. Like our cost, me and Eddie agonized over for a month making.
Well, I mean, all said and done, the Bandito is funded and out on the market in our hands as a consumer, or just the community that wants to own this.
Yeah.
You guys are not going to be recouped at all for your time. Like that's never going to happen. Like never on this one vehicle, you guys are not ever going to get that money back.
But
like,
that's what it takes though to build a business, to build.
That's exactly right. It's not, the point is that we get our first product to market and people hold it in their hands. And then when we put out everything else, they know where we're coming from. They've held it in their hands and they know what we can deliver. We don't even necessarily know what we can deliver. We just know the quality of our design and this prototyping process that we've been able to, we understand materials, we understand prototyping, we understand design. The rest of it is just going to be up to you guys and what you say about it. And all our main job is to make sure that it's good enough that people don't have too much shit to talk about it.
No. Exactly.
Yeah, Clanable says he really understands that cost process, and that's why he never questions the price.
Some people get it, others don't. You know,
yeah.
people are like, "Why?"
Well, I mean,
I'm not paying more than $100. Like, then you obviously don't understand what
you're not going to get this car for that with all the stuff. I mean, there's just no way to build this.
Well, and you're also talking to a bunch of people that spend more than $100 on a single figure.
Our landing costs,
our car is trying to be at that level.
Is $100. You know what I mean, or close to there. That means just to get it to the States with tooling and all that factored in at 1,500 units, that's $100 right there. So I mean, I could give it to you for nothing, but then I can't afford to ship it to you.
Well, that's what people need to understand is that the money that's coming in literally is paying for the tooling to make said units.
And the shipping. I want to be clear on that.
And the shipping, yes.
The money for the 1,500 units covers, half of it covers tooling, and give or take, the other half is to get it on here on a container and to ship it to individual people, which I've calculated in a cost for that. So
and to pay for the unit.
It's a lot of work. Besides design, just logistics.
Right.
I'm going to use a restroom. And then
actually, I was going to say, maybe we should start landing this plane because we've done a little here.
X-Men 97 here a little bit. And if Dead Man's watched it and you need to stay in here with us, I'm kind of blown away by this show. But talk amongst yourselves for 30 seconds.
No pressure.
No pressure at all. No pressure at all. Actually, I think there was probably a lot of pressure going on there.
On a side note, we've been working with Gentle Giant, and as part of Oddfrog Entertainment, trying to do our own things. We recently added a page to our website that we call the Oddfrog Forge. And, we're trying to offer our services to people who would like to bring some of their ideas to fruition. We have capabilities, and we have access to printers and various...
If I'm wrong, I think there's something in the works right now. Am I wrong about that?
As far as
we don't have to talk.
You're not wrong. We've been in contact with somebody recently who works in the States, and they need a company. This company needs a company needs enough to subcontract a company like Oddfrog Entertainment to do some sculpt and design work for a couple projects they have going on right now. Yeah, we actually sent this company a quote. This company, they basically do promotional toys, they're doing one for there's a restaurant on the border, and then there's Happy Meal toys, but they do promotional stuff like kids meal toys they give out. And they need simple design work, but it's something that we're on just now tapping into, is expanding our services to other people who need sculpt and design work and prototype work. And then they can then use our designs and then go do what they need to be done.
Okay.
It's pretty cool. Yeah?
I mean,
it's exciting.
I was thinking of something a little bit different, but I also know what I'm thinking of is it's not the time to announce that.
Mm-hmm.
No, we had again Oddfrog Forge. We're trying to do our own thing as a design company, and that same professor who put us in contact with the manufacturer, did a lot of work for promotional giveaway toys and kids meals. And, we've been talking to somebody who needs work like that in the States. So it's kind of cool.
Nice. That is cool. That's incredibly cool.
Yeah.
We're getting our own work.
Yeah. I mean, and I just want to touch on a little bit what Eddie was talking about as far as design with what Oddfrog wants to do. We have our own ideas. We really want to pursue our own ideas as a toy company, our own stories, our own characters. And we don't want to own other people's ideas, but we do want to help people bring their ideas to the table. And back in the 90s, Image Comics started by a bunch of artists who were disillusioned with the companies they were working for, and it became a self-publishing owned company where everybody owns their own intellectual property. And I just think that's the future of licensing. And I don't want to own your ideas. I have plenty of my own I want to do, but I am interested in good ideas as far as having the Oddfrog brand associated with that. Imagine we're a small company. I can't pay a great creator as much as the bigger companies can, but if I let them know that they can own the rights to what they create and we will license that as a contract to build the toys, all of a sudden I think we have some bait or a carrot on a stick out there that is equal to the amount of money that a bigger company could pay a creative person that is interested in owning their own intellectual property. You want to go make a movie on Netflix with it? Great. You own it. Let us build the toys.
Nice.
That's my dream. That's my vision.
For Oddfrog Entertainment.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk about X-Men 97 really quick because I'm loving this show.
Just don't ruin it.
Do we want to talk about it here, or do we want to end this stream and talk about it?
I think we should wrap this up for today.
All right, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you for joining us. Everybody who chimed in and had comments, Moonshine Mel, Maya and the Mafia, Clanable, love you as always. Will Flow, all you guys, we so appreciate everybody's
Dead
interest.
Man, thank you for jumping on.
Always,
thanks for having me on. Honestly,
we will always have you, brother. Thank you.
I'm always here for you,
guys. Check us out, like and subscribe, please. It helps, and
share.
Keep staying tuned, guys, because we're not going anywhere. See you next time.
Thank you for tuning in to the Oddfrog Chop Shop podcast. This episode is brought to you by MLCVoice.com and OddFrogEntertainment.com. Theme music is Burlesque Heartache by RKVC. Please remember to rate and subscribe. Until next time, keep creating and keep playing.
There was just more people joining the live on Instagram. Are we still live?
I'm just about to end it.
Are we still live?
I don't. Well, this part might be too. Hey, we're live, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, it still says live up in the corner.